Welcome to a jam-packed Park Center High School gym for an all-district 279 boys basketball matchup tonight. It's the Osseo Orioles making the short journey over here to Park Center to take on the top-ranked Pirates. Hi, I'm Jay Wilcox along with Ryan Iverson. And Ryan, just walking into the building tonight, you know there's a lot of energy in this gym. Two big rivals, two good basketball programs, and they're eager to go head-to-head here tonight.
Well, just the energy. I walked in, I mean, there was standing room only already, and guys are fired up. Anytime you got a number one team in the state of Minnesota, you're going to get your opponent's best shot. You throw that out of the way, Jay, and you got Osseo Park Center. Doesn't matter what their records are. Those two teams always play well each other. They know each other. I expect a really fun ball game, great atmosphere tonight, too.
A little bit of a contrast in terms of experience. Osseo really only has one starter back. They've got another guy who played a fair amount off the bench. Meanwhile, Park Center, it's almost the same team as a year ago.
And I think that's huge, right? When you're returning the majority of your scoring, especially when you have a guy who we're going to talk about, Dane Danja, 6'10", I mean, anchoring that defense, it's a lot of confidence coming back. And you feel like you got a jump start on this season. With Osseo, they lost a lot of scoring, a lot of leadership, ball handling. So you're still, it's 5 games in, you're still identifying what those roles for each player are going to be. So I think experience is plays a big role, especially early in the year.
Both teams have really had some close games early. Osseo winning 3, but losing 2 of them. Park Center has played a really tough schedule so far. They are 5-0, but they weren't easy, including a buzzer-beating win over your alma mater, Eden Prairie.
Yeah, thanks for rubbing that in, Jay. But no, I think having close games early, especially a really tough schedule, that does dividends for your ball club. And Coach Ware, I'm sure, set that schedule up for that exact reason. And I think that's why they're the number one team in the state. They beat a really good Prior Lake team. They beat a really good Eden Prairie team. They beat Maple Grove the other night, and their defense is what's really stood out. Just statistically, you got that big fella, but you got great athletes around them. Can you score enough to keep up with Park Center? That's why they're the number one team in the state right now.
And let's talk about key players to look at tonight, starting with the visiting Orioles. And Cornell Richardson is that one returning starter. He's one of their point guards, and looking to ask to be more of a scorer this season.
He's averaging just under 14 points. He's shooting a lot of threes. He's a good three-point shooter. Tonight, he's got to take advantage of those opportunities. A lot of success against Park Center might have to come away from the basket, or you've got to be able to use that shot fake and get to the rim, but make a play for a teammate. He's just got to make plays tonight. And again, scoring 14, I think he's going to have to be closer to 20, 25 for Osseo to score enough to beat Park Center tonight.
And for Park Center, we are going to talk about the aforementioned Dane Danja. That's the one big difference between these teams. Not just his size, but his overall ability. The Orioles did a great job against him in that section final last year. Not so sure that they'll have a very easy task of it tonight, though.
Well, having some kids in AAU, I follow the AAU scene really closely, and everyone raved about Dane Danja this summer and how much progress he made, how physical he was, how skilled he was. He has a tendency, the one knock is that he plays a little bit further from the basket, not utilizing that size that he has. If I'm at Park Center, I am pounding the ball, playing inside out. Osseo has nobody size-wise or physicality-wise that can match up with him, and then you use your athletes to surround him. So he's a phenomenal player. 18, 12, 3.5 blocks. I mean, he just dominates the high school game. I'd like to see him in that 35 and 20 mode. I mean, that's how good he can be, and I'm anxious to see how much he's gotten better from last year.
Well, Osseo not only beat Park Center in the section final last year, they eliminated him the previous 2 years as well. You don't like to use the word revenge a lot when you're a coach, but I don't think there's any question Park Center wants this one very badly.
Absolutely, and Coach Tyson and his staff at Osseo, they're the best around, and they take their talent, whatever it might be, and they always play well at the end of the year. Early is when you want to catch them before they've really gotten their rhythm going. But this year feels a little different with Park Center. They, like you said, return a lot of their horsepower from last year. Some kids getting some Division I interest. Obviously, Danja, major Division I interest. So they're going to be a tough out this year, and I'm sure Coach Ware is excited to give it to Osseo here early in the year.
All right, should be a great one. We've got a full house here at Park Center getting ready to cheer their team on in this one. It's Osseo and Park Center next up here on CCX.
What makes your community feel like home? Is it knowing what's happening in your neighborhood? Or when people know your name? Connections make us a community. For more than 30 years, Northwest Community Television has connected citizens, neighbors, even sports fans through video. You can learn about the latest news through our truly local newscast. We cover and air around 150 high school sporting events every year. For our cities, we air parades and city meetings that you can watch whenever you want. Then, any citizen of our cities can create and share their own original content. We'll even teach you how to use the equipment too. We have always provided you with a connected community experience, and as life gets busier than ever, we will continue to engage, inform, and inspire through CCX Media, so you can stay connected to the place you call home.
And welcome back here to Park Center as the team's jacked up and ready to go for tonight's contest. And joining us courtside tonight once again will be Allie Arlt. Let's go down to Allie.
Hey guys, it's early. We're only 5 games into the season, but the fact of the matter is Park Center sits atop Class 4A, ranked #1 in the state. So some might think that this is something to brag about, but Coach Ware says not his team. He says what's important to them is sticking with the process, sticking with each other, getting incrementally better each game, and he says their record will reflect after all of that. Interestingly enough, he says that his team plays better on road games because, as you guys talked about in the open, this place is electric, and playing amongst their peers tends to break their concentration, so that's something to keep an eye on tonight. Guys, it should be interesting.
Yeah, I thought that was an interesting point that Coach Ware made. He said, you maybe get caught up in trying to impress your classmates a little bit too much sometimes at home, and can kind of zero in and focus in a little bit better on the road sometimes, and I think that can be true.
Well, Kim, but that's where that experience comes in too, right? They've been in some big games. Usually your first time varsity experience, that's when you get nervous. And I'll tell you, I used to love playing on the road. There's nothing better than shutting a really excited crowd up. But on the flip side, when you're at home, Jay, it's a lot of fun. You're trying to impress your parents, your students, your teachers, and it's a lot of energy in this building tonight.
Look at starting the lineup for tonight. First of all, for Tim Tyson and the Osseo Orioles, as we said, a pretty new group from last year. Tariq Henry, Cornell Richardson will share the point guard duties. Terrence Waits is doing a nice job for them. Deontay Ferguson, they call him their 5'11 power forward, a good athlete. And then Eli Barlow, who by the end of last year was playing a fair amount off the bench for the Orioles, returns as a 6'4 senior. And for Park Center, slightly different lineup because Emmanuel Tamba, their usual point guard, is not here. He's at a family wedding in Africa, so he is missing this first meeting with Osseo. They've got Kahari Broadway, David Ijambola, who hit the game winner against EP, Datavius Frierson, a dunker extraordinaire, Tommy Chapman, maybe they're possibly their most complete all-around player, and then the big guy, Dane Danja for the Pirates. And Coach Ware, he wasn't going to try and fool us and say that, it's just another game to our kid. No, when they got knocked out the last 3 years in a row by this team, they want Osseo pretty bad.
Absolutely, and there's a look at Coach Ware, and obviously a tremendous player when he was growing up. But, yeah, the great players, great coaches, great programs, you don't forget stuff, right? You remember all the slights, all the defeats you've had along the way, and he's loaded this year, and they got just a great mix of kids. Tommy Chapman, a great player, great leader. And you talk about Frierson, what an athlete. I mean, he is just maybe one of the best athletes we're going to see. And there's a look at the other great coach on the other side. Both very good coaches. Tim Tyson, can't believe he's been here for 17 years already.
And he was an assistant on a previous state champion team right before he took over as well, when Adam Holm was still the head coach of the Orioles. So they've been in the mix for championships quite often in the 2000s with Osseo.
And I mean it, Jay, they get better at Osseo every year, right? As the year goes on, you play them a second time, they usually adjust as well as anybody around, and you get to the playoff time, I guarantee nobody wants to see Osseo in their side of the bracket.
It'll be Danja and Barlow getting set to jump things up as we get ready for tonight's big contest. And the tip goes into the Pirates bench. And it's going to be Osseo basketball here to begin. So Ferguson will inbound here for the Orioles. Comes into Henry, and here we go. We're underway. Broadway getting the assignment on Henry. Goes down to the corner with it, and Richardson. And we're going to have a lane violation quickly called here against Osseo.
Well, good defense by the Pirates, and I think Osseo's strategy is going to be, hey, let's slow it down. We don't want to necessarily get in a transition game with Park Center. The question tonight, Jay, is scoring by Osseo. They average 61 a game. Park Center gives up 61. I think if Osseo can get in the 60s, they're going to have a chance.
Chapman, a step back jumper here, bounces twice and won't drop, and Richardson grabs it. Down to the corner to Broadway. And have an illegal screen call there against Chapman, trying to step in and pick off the defender there.
Yeah, and a big point of emphasis is on those screens this year, staying still, not moving or leaning. And you can see already there it was called, but I've seen that a number of times already this season, more so than in other years.
Richardson taking the return pass out high. Wouldn't be surprised to see some fairly long possessions from Osseo here. They don't want to be jacking shots up quick. They don't want this to be an 85-80 kind of game. There's a John Bola with the steal for Park Center. Layup is good.
While playing the passing lanes, that's what Park Center does really well. If you are going to slow it down, Jay, you still got to be aggressive and look to attack. Park Center does such a good job getting in those passing lanes, and they want to get out and run on you if they can.
Henry picks up the dribble.
You know, and Osseo's going to have to win some of these one-on-one matchups, you know. You can see everything's going east and west. They got to get going north and south. Try to get to that basket, especially if you can pull Dane Danger out of the lane.
We have a foul here going against Park Center as John Bola as he had this last steal.
Yeah, nice job just anticipating, and they can get out and run and finish with the best of them. You know, that's the one thing, too, I really like about Park Center this year is they've shown already they can play any style. They've scored in the 70s. They've also scored in the 40s and won. Close games, blowouts. That's what great teams have to do as well.
Richardson, a three from the corner here for the Orioles.
Well, he was 10 for 35 coming into this game, so that's a great sign to have him hit that outside shot.
Important there for Osseo, too. They made Park Center pay for gambling a little bit on the perimeter, looking for the steal.
And that's how you got to beat them. You got to be able to attack, draw the help, and then make a smart play.
Barlow gets the assignment on Danger. Now Broadway. Nice spin move. Kahari Broadway with the attack and bucket.
Great body control, but great strength, too. Did you see him go right through that contact? Finished right at the rim. They got so many weapons. You have to be able to defend man-to-man.
Broadway called for the foul there. He reached in. It wasn't that, but then he got him with the body. As you can see, they're really looking to turn the screws up on Henry or Richardson or whoever has the ball out high there.
You know, and that could be an advantage for Osseo if they're calling it tight on the perimeter. Because Park Center's so aggressive defensively, that could be an advantage for the Orioles.
And Osseo, I think tonight they want to make Park Center be jump shooters. They're going to look to maybe sag off a little more than what they're accustomed to doing to control the drive. Here's Richardson, a miss off the glass. Broadway the long rebound. Chapman has to save it in. Frierson, they kick it around now to Danger. Richardson getting up on him. Danger nearly lost it. It's going to be a 5-second call.
You know, he's so talented. You can see 6'10", he can handle the ball, but you don't want to play with it, right? Sometimes he tries to get a little bit too flashy. Just blow by the guy and get a basket instead of trying to show off with the dribbling skills. He's a great dribbler, but he's also got a great first step for his size. He's got to be able to use that, get to the basket.
Timeout taken here by Park Center as the Pirates leading Osseo 4-3 in the early going here. Great matchup, and for fans of these two teams, we'll have your teams on again later, both times against Maple Grove. Coming up later in the season, Park Center will be hosting the Crimson later, and the Osseo Maple Grove, I believe, is part of a doubleheader that we'll have for you on CCX as well. And of course, daily following these teams too on our sportscasts and our Sports Jam show too.
Think about 20 years ago, Jay, when you guys were doing this, and someone would have said, "You make sure you mention Twitter." You would have said, "What the heck is that?" But of course, social media is such a big part of it. And we were talking today with some of my other friends, like how great for these high school kids, the coverage they get, being on TV, on CCX regularly, and Twitter and news. I mean, it's just it's a fun time to be a high school athlete.
Ferguson inbounding to Tariq Henry here for Osseo. Frierson defending him. Tried to go with the back cut there, and Osseo trying to claim it was deflected, and referees say otherwise, so a turnover, and it'll be Pirates ball.
Great movement. That's how you go against pressure like that. You go back door. The pass was too high up. He got to get closer with the dribble, so it's an easier pass to get through there, but the right idea for sure.
Yeah, Osceo's really been forced to start their offense out high. They're feeling the pressure a little bit.
Yep.
Ferguson a deflection, Barlow the steal, and now Richardson looking long and too long.
Yep.
Air-mailed it over Deontay Ferguson's head.
And those are the things that are frustrating for a coach is you play great on defense, you get a tip, you have active hands, and instead of forcing it when it's not there, just bring the ball up and run some clock and try to get a good shot. Those kind of turnovers I'm sure Coach Tyson isn't thrilled with.
Chapman keeps the dribble going here, goes all the way in,
nice.
Scores, and a foul.
Just smooth, isn't it? Great pace. He wasn't rushing it. I'll tell you, watch the help given to Danger there, and that's where it really allowed Tommy Chapman there to keep his dribble and keep attacking, but nice, smooth finish. He's got great height, averaging 14 points a game. He's a phenomenal basketball player.
Free throw is good, so he gets the three-point play. Foul was against Barlow, which that is his first and the team's first, but I think it's something to keep an eye on tonight. They can't afford to have Barlow get in foul trouble. They don't have much size. It's going to be a push against the Pirates. Chapman, boy, they thought they saw an opportunity to jump that play right in front of the bench, and that's going to be number 2 on Tommy Chapman.
Yeah, and again, that's big. If they're calling that hand check, because the physicality of which the Pirates play with, and you can see Coach Ware is probably going to have Tommy Chapman come out with that 2 early fouls.
Here's a drive to the hoop, but unable to finish it there was Waits.
And Waits' great drive. Danger was pulled away from the basket, so you had an opportunity to attack the rim. You got to finish that. Great drive, great aggression, but got to finish those layups.
Josh Lewis coming into the lineup now for Park Center, and Chapman does indeed sit with those 2 fouls. Pirates will come with some full court pressure here. Game hasn't really gone up and down yet, and I think that would be what Park Center would envision here, trying to get this tempo up a little bit. Henry getting into the lane, layup is good. Park Center, I think, a little worried about a fouling, so Henry turned the corner.
Yeah, nice job turning, going to the basket there instead of just settling for east to west.
Barlow blocked the pass. Richardson now attacking, no good. Barlow grabs the rebound. He'll go up inside and score it.
Heads up play by Barlow, getting that rebound. You see him look for Danger, and he realized the shot blocker wasn't there. Goes right back up. At 6'4", he's the closest thing Osseo has to a center, and you can see a great rebound and great awareness too to go right back up with it.
Frierson pitching it inside, Danger for 2.
As big and strong as he is, he's equally agile, and you can see he's slippery. Great spin move, finished with the right hand, coming across under the backboard. Nice play.
We're going to get Josh Lewis for a hand check way out high, and Park Center, Coach Ware, he's not mad at the official. I think he's telling his guys, you know, got to learn from the previous calls a little bit. What's interesting is that a lot of times Osseo is the team that likes to be really aggressive and in your face defensively, and so a lot of times it might be them that's more worried about a closely called game.
Well, and what you have to do every game, you have to adjust, right? The referees call it differently, but if they're calling that hand check, you have to adjust. That's 5 team fouls. If I'm Osseo, I'm continuing to put pressure on the Pirates, trying to force them to foul and see if you can't get into the bonus.
Barlew from the corner, and he knocks down a three. I don't know if that's necessarily his strong suit, but he was able to hit it there, and the Orioles are up by 1.
Well, I like the idea of Osseo getting Barlew on the perimeter, forcing Danger to come out there. And I think Dane was a little shocked that he shot that three, but he hit it. Big shot.
Frierson posting strong, and he scores it. They tried to take a charge. The referees weren't having it, and all 5 starters have scored now for PC.
Yeah.
Reverse layup here by Henry.
Now you get to feel Osceo's got a little confidence going, right? Sometimes it's intimidating on the road, playing the #1 team. Now they look confident attacking the basket, and they're doing a nice job. They're bringing Barlew away from the basket, and it's forcing Danger to go out with them.
Broadway shooting it up from the wing, no good. Tip try, no. Danger comes down with that second rebound. He'll turn and fire, no good. And Richardson grabs it.
And see, that's where I'd like to see Danger go up with it, right under the basket. There's no one that can challenge that shot. You know, great offensive rebound. You're 2 feet from the basket. That's where the big fella, I think, needs to finish it.
Barlew attacking there. Now the long outlet. They'll go across for Broadway, but just couldn't quite complete it. Park Center's been a little bit out of sync, and now the support on the edge of the backboard has come loose. That protective felt, and John Hedstrom, the athletic director here, is I was wondering, he was carrying a ladder toward the court, and he could see it coming, so they have to stop for a moment for that and try and get that refastened.
You know, that last play, even though Park Center turned it over, you see how dangerous they are in the open court. Off of a missed shot, too. It's not necessarily a turnover. They push that ball up. They got such great team speed. That pass was on the money. That's a layup. You know, here's a look. Look at 3 green jerseys just sprinting down and just about a foot too far ahead of Kahari Broadway. Otherwise, he would have had a layup. So that's the thing. When you play against the Pirates, you got to shoot, but you got to sprint back in a hurry to stop their transition.
Yeah, a lot of times people, you know, you'd think like, well, they're just cherry picking, leaking out, but that's not really the case. They're playing good D, and when they see an opportunity to run, they're doing it, and that's kind of their MO.
And you know what a big part of that is they have such trust in Danger to get the defensive rebound. I grew up playing AAU with a guy named Joel Prisbilla, who was 7'1", ended up playing in the NBA. As soon as a shot would go up, I was gone because I knew 9 out of 10 times he was going to get that rebound. And Danger does a great job of this too. He gets his head down and he looks, and he's not afraid to fire that down the court. So you don't necessarily have to create a turnover to run in transition. That's something Park Center does really well.
The many uses of duct tape. You know, it's about the product that you can't do without, and they're hoping that that'll kind of hold at least well enough.
Well, you see those T-shirts that say I saw, I came, I duct taped, right? You can use duct tape for just about anything.
John Hedstrom, of course, a longtime basketball coach, so I got to believe a night like this is kind of exciting for him to be on hand. He was a coach at Minnetonka for many years.
He had some great teams, some great players for the Skippers during his tenure, and he's done a very nice job here at Park Center as the athletic director.
Kind of time for everybody to take a little breath here after, you know, you get all excited and get the game going. And I mean, obviously it's not a stoppage you want to have, but gives everybody a chance to kind of get themselves settled for the players.
And actually, it's a big thing, Jay, because now it's basically an extended timeout. So you kind of catch your wind, adjustments, anything like that you want to make on the fly. It gives you time to do that.
Josh Brown, number 34, is checked in for Park Center at that last stop of play there as well.
This is always a time where I would come out of a timeout like this, unexpected, and draw something up that maybe the other team hasn't seen yet on film, right? This is a great time to come with a backdoor or misdirection, you know, see if Park Center comes out with something different on defense, or if Osseo is able to draw something up quick.
Interesting that you say that, because Tim Tyson actually told us tonight that he is going to be relatively vanilla with what they do. He's thinking more toward the playoffs if he's going to spring something new on them. Not that this game isn't important, but Barlew cut off, drops it back. Henry giving it over to Richardson, open from 15, and it's good.
I mean, that's a great Osseo possession, right? Not in a hurry, taking 20, 25 seconds off the clock, and then you get a nice, easy mid-range jump shot, and Richardson knocks it down.
Down the low to Danger, and he either stepped out or dribbled out. Looks like stepped out, so out of bounds. Right idea to punch it inside there, I think.
It was, but you saw 3 white jerseys immediately around him, in front of him and behind him. He had the right idea, spinning away from it, just got those big feet out of bounds just by a hair.
Henry, a little change of pace dribble, and then he attacks.
What's interesting, what Osseo's doing is they're putting Danger in pick and rolls, and they're getting him away from the basket, and what that's doing is he's not there to protect the rim, and they are attacking at will. This is a great start for Osseo here on the road.
I think they're taking advantage of the fact that Park Center fouled a lot early, too, so they're maybe not being quite as aggressive on D. Way across it comes, and long one put up that time by Brown. And the Orioles come out of there with it. Ferguson trying to go to the hoop, but he lost it. Brown will grab it here for Park Center. Now to Lewis. Danger cut off with the dribble there. He'll flip it inside. Frierson for the layup.
Well, great vision by the big fella, but great cut by Frierson. You know, if I'm playing with Danger, he's such a skilled passer. I don't stop moving. I'm constantly cutting, and Frierson put himself in a good position there and got the layup.
Barlew trying to drive it at Danger. Now they kick it out. Richardson for a 3. No good. Frierson boards it. Frierson asking for the high screen, and now he'll kick it to the corner. Brown shooting it up, and this time it's good for 3.
Yeah. Josh Brown, same spot he had that other one, and I'll tell you, Park Center can get some momentum going from the perimeter with Danger inside. Then they become basically unguardable.
Inside for Ferguson. Danger either bothered that one or got a piece of it. Danger's going to stop and fire. That is short. Brown kept it alive, but it comes over to Waits. Richardson, nice fake. Then he gives it to Barlew. Lost his footing, pitches it back out. And knocked down by Waits.
Great penetration that time. Repeated drives. They see Danger by the rim. They kick it out, keep moving. And Waits knocks down the 3. Great offense.
So Osseo back in front by 3. Looking for the upset on the road. Yes, I know they beat Park Center twice last year, but I would feel safe in saying that this would be an upset if they won tonight.
Same hand check that you got called against Park Center. Here's a nice drive and kick, and that time Brown knocks it down. Same shot he had a couple possessions before. And look at this. Watch Osseo probe. They see Danger there, and great job just by Waits. You see him drive, but then he kept moving, found himself open, and knocks down the 3.
Tried to go to Danger. Pass was denied, but unable to save it there. Great effort. Michael McIntyre.
Yeah, and Josh Lewis, that time when you're feeding the big fella, got to get a better angle. It's hard to feed it to the post when he's getting side fronted like that from the top of the key. You got to bring it over to the wing, get a better angle to get him the ball.
Chaz Franklin, number 23, is also in here for Osseo. Broadway with it on the wing, looking toward Danger, but they surrounded him. Now the other side posting is Frierson.
Oh, good
nice cut, and John Bola gets the feed from Frierson.
Nice job by Injabala there, getting to the basket and having his hands available.
Franklin being hounded, forced up a shot, no good. Ferguson will grab the rebound and almost threw it away. PC cranking the defensive pressure up a little bit more, and Tim Tyson wants to call a timeout. That wasn't looking like a particularly good possession developing there, so getting on Franklin a little bit. And sometimes that happens too when you're inexperienced. You feel like when somebody's, getting up on you defensively that you have to answer, that you have to shoot the ball and whatever. And I think that's what he's telling Franklin right now, is it's okay to pass the ball out of there if you don't have anything.
Well, you got 2 choices. When you're getting pressured by a good defensive team, you either start playing fast and a little bit out of control, or you handle it and you slow it down and you play smarter by backdooring them, pick and rolls. Use that team's pressure against them. And a lot of times teams can't do that. It's hard to do when someone is in your face and making you uncomfortable. It's hard sometimes to keep your composure and play smart.
Osseo leading it by 1 here. 7:39 to go in the first half here from Park Center High School, a jam-packed gym here in Pirate Land, or right before Christmas here, as students, I think, pumped up for this game, but also to know that they'll have some time off coming up too. Inbounded to Richardson. Franklin attacking, had it knocked loose. Henry looking to drive the ball here. Tough shot, no good. Tipped loose and out of bounds off of Park Center. It'll stay with Osseo.
Yeah, I was just thinking, we shot, I believe, 1 free throw tonight, right? So 7 total fouls called, but all of them on the perimeter, really not much at the rim. Park Center doing a nice job of contesting those layups without fouling.
Richardson with Frierson out defending him. Barlow wanting to drive it at Danger. Danger slapped it away though. Orioles get it back.
Oh, wow.
And a three-pointer is up and good from Richardson.
Knocking down a 3, but you see the effort by Barlow there to knock that ball away and get it back into Richardson's hands. And then how about that? No conscious. Richardson steps right into it, buries the 3. I think you have to be able to knock 3s down from the perimeter against Park Center.
Inside they come to Lewis, and he is fouled as they surrounded him quickly there. And will make him earn it at the free throw line. Looks like Richardson will pick up the foul, and that is his second. So we had Chapman go sit down earlier for Park Center with a couple of fouls fairly early on, and now the second on Richardson. And a good bounce there as Lewis gets the free throw to drop.
Well, Chapman hasn't been back in the game since he got that second foul. You can see he's waiting to come in here for Lewis. But that's a big foul if Richardson has to come out of the game.
You see Bernard Omora coming in there for Osseo, and that second free throw good as well. So Lewis out, Chapman in. Omora, one of the talented freshmen who gets some time here for Osseo. Park Center's really just come with, kind of token pressure for the most part. They haven't come really with a full court trap or anything. 3-point Osseo lead here on the road. Henry driving, no good. And it's knocked loose to Broadway. Broadway is going to go all the way himself, missed it. Rebound was knocked free, then Chapman scores.
Again, so dangerous in transition. And the other thing about transition defense, sometimes it's hard to box out of it because you're not right next to someone. Park Center, as athletic as they are, able to get second, third chances there and able to finish.
Henry back out to Waits. We're tied up at 22, a little under 6 to play in this opening half. Good ball game so far. Maybe not a lot of fireworks per se, but back and forth battle. I think Osseo's acquitted himself pretty well on the road so far. Waits looking to drive the ball here and then through it baseline. He was expecting Amoria to cut, but he was kind of slowed a little bit.
And you get the feel too, Osseo, they're probing right on the drives, but they're just not attacking all the way. I think they got to continue to attack, get a couple of those baskets, then you're going to get that defense collapsing, and then the driving kicks really open up.
Chapman calling out a play as he walks it into the front court. He's going to stop and pop, and it's way short. Frierson standing there saying, yeah, it was open, buddy.
Well, that's a tough play to defend. You got Chapman coming off. Danger that time rolled hard to the basket. And you've got to make your mind up what you're going to give up. And that time they gave Chapman the jump shot. He's normally pretty surefire from that range.
He'd been sitting a while, and I think it kind of showed on that shot. Waits dropping it off McIntyre and was trying to draw a foul. Threw up a rather wild shot there. Chapman drops it back to Danger. Offensive foul. No bucket. Danger ran him over a little bit.
Let's see who took that heads-up play. You know, two things on it. If you lower that shoulder like that, it always looks like a charge. And two, he's so big and strong that you go flying from it. So it's from an appearance standpoint, it certainly looks like a charge. But heads-up play by Osseo, and by a freshman too.
Waits taking the long three, maybe a little bit of a rush shot there, and then we get a foul on the rebound and go against Henry, I believe, trying to crash the boards. Be the first on Henry, the fourth team foul.
I like that coaching. McIntyre and Coach Tyson talking to him, saying, you can get a better shot than that. We don't work that hard to throw up an underhand, no look finger roll. Get a better shot like that. I love you being aggressive, but you know, it's a great teaching moment.
And I think it ended up being more by necessity because he kind of got bumped off his spot a little bit, but that's where you have to be real strong on the dribble too. Danger calling for it here. Tried to go up in traffic, no good. Jadabola with the rebound, and then Barlew snares it for Osseo.
Nice job holding their ground that time, Osseo on defense. Great ball fake by Danger. Did you see the help kind of go away? Gave him just a second to be able to operate down there.
Barlew looking to attack here. Danger getting back into the play to cut him off.
You can see Danger moves his feet really well on the perimeter for a big guy.
Barlew shooting it up, no good. They've started to find the going a little tougher again here shot-wise, and then a foul on Barlew. That'll be his second. And those are the kind you don't really love. That was 60 feet away from the basket on a dribbler over near the sideline.
No, and against Park Center, you just want to get back. I like that he's trying to slow the ball down, which you got to do, but you got to be able to do it without fouling.
Chapman to Danger at the high post. Jadabola goes around this, or denies the screen and goes the other way and draws the foul.
Well, does he have a quick first step or what? Wow. Looked like a high ball screen was going to come. He jabbed that way and just ripped through the baseline. Able to get to the rim before any help could get there. That was an explosive move.
Short on the first free throw try here. Foul was against Ferguson, by the way, for Osseo. So now we're even at 6. Early on, it was all Park Center getting called for fouls, and now we're seeing that even out.
I think you give credit to Park Center. They adjusted, right? We saw a barrage of hand checks and perimeter fouls, and really the last 9-10 minutes of this half done a nice job of playing defense without fouling.
And I kind of like, obviously we're not hearing exactly what he's saying, but you just got the general impression that Coach Ware was telling his guys, hey, it's a foul if those guys say it is. I don't care if you think it is or not. Down low, Richardson in traffic, has to kick it out, and Chapman steals it. Tommy Chapman looking to attack, goes around the defender, left it short. Danger trying to tip it up, and then Barlew rebounds.
Well, he had great body control to avoid a charge there. Just couldn't quite get enough arm strength, I think, to get the spin on the backboard, but heck of a move.
Waits driving it into the lane and blocked there. Nice job by Brown holding his ground. Chapman and Barlew deflects it out of bounds. It'll be Park Center ball, so Osseo a much better job getting back that time, making sure to deny it.
You get stuck down there. That's where I think you just want to be aggressive and look to shoot. Beautiful footwork there to avoid the charge.
Frierson receives the pass and scores. There was quite a bit of contact there, and he just battled through it. I think Frierson might be one of those kind of key guys this year that maybe everybody doesn't know a lot about him, but he's good.
Well, and that's the second time he's made a great play by just cutting hard to the basket. And you can see he's got great strength and athleticism. He can finish when he gets down there.
Richardson's going to let it fly. You get the feeling Osseo right now is kind of settling for not great shots in these last several possessions.
And their offense really took off early when they were driving to the basket and getting layups.
Danger not able to hit the long one, knocked out of bounds. Last touch by Osseo. And I absolutely know Dane can make that shot, but Osseo loves when he's shooting threes. They don't want, they're much more afraid of him going down low.
And we talked about it in the pregame, Jay. He has a tendency to do that where he floats a lot more on the perimeter. And I think sometimes he wants to showcase that he can do it, that he's talented, he's got the ball handling and the shooting, which he does. But sometimes you just got to say, where can I dominate right now? And in this game especially, there is no size that Osseo can throw at him that he couldn't dominate down low.
Kicked over to Broadway for an open look. It's short though, and Richardson rebounds. Park Center leading by 5, under a minute 40 to go now in this first half. Osceo's really gone cold after they had a stretch where they were playing well and had a lead for a time.
And if I'm Osseo, I'm going to try to get something patient here, but try to get something at the rim. See if they can get a basket going at the rim.
Richardson does exactly that. And he's had his moments for sure in this first half. He's got 10 points.
And again, I feel like they could get that if they're patient. And early enough in the game when they were having success offensively, it was on drives similar to that.
Across to Broadway. We're under a minute to go now in this first half. John Mbola taking that three. No, Frierson rebounds and then kicks it wide open as Brown, and he hits. Great vision for Frierson. He knew where that ball was going before he even caught it.
Well, and that's something that won't show up in the stats, but that's a second chance point right there. Offensive rebound, great kick, and a nice job knocking down that three-pointer from that same spot too, that left corner.
Pirates by 6. Osseo probably going to go for the last shot here, I would think. They're at about a half minute to go in the half. Oh, we're going to get an illegal screen call there on Ferguson as he came out to try and free Richardson up.
That looked to be just a good solid screen.
Coach Tyson right now asking.
I don't know where the foul is. He was set, he didn't move.
It almost looked like the indication might have been that he didn't give him that tiny bit of space. I don't know, I'm not sure.
That's a bad call. They're calling, there's an emphasis on calling it, and they call it a lot.
Here's the lob, and Frierson with the dunk. Not a bad way to end the half for Park Center. As they had a set play, and the lob to Frierson will give Park Center an 8-point lead at halftime here at 32 to 24. And they kind of had fits and starts offensively, but that's a nice way to end the half for sure.
Well, great design play, but not only do you go up 8, but you go up 8 into the locker room with great momentum, great energy by the crowd. And we talked about Frierson's athleticism. That ball was thrown way up there. Looked like a young Jay Wilcox on his Nerf hoop when he was younger there. His head was almost at the rim.
Key point about it being a Nerf hoop, that's for sure. So a 32 to 24 lead.
You know, those are the kind of plays, Jay, that you work on, you draw up, and when you see it actually executed in a game and it works, you're proud as a coach. That was beautiful. Great call there to end the half.
Let's go down now courtside to Allie.
Coach, you said you wanted to stop penetration down in the lane for Park Center to keep Danger out of this. You've held him to 2 points. What have you liked in your D?
I think we're doing a good job containing him. We're giving him too many second chance points right now. We're contesting the shots, but they're getting the long rebounds now. So we're doing a great job on Dane. Now we got to stop some of the other players.
How do you keep the tempo but take away some of these unnecessary unforced turnovers?
Yeah, you know what? Their pressure gets to us a little bit, and that's that inexperience with us. We've taken some quick shots. They've gotten some quick transition points. We got to take care of the ball a little bit more, work it around. And I don't mind the score. I need it in the 30s, and that's kind of what we got.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks.
Thanks very much, Allie, and thanks to Coach Tyson. We'll be hearing from James Ware coming back into the second half. Park Center up 32-24 at halftime. We'll be back here to Brooklyn Park in just a moment. You're watching Northwest Suburban Conference Boys Basketball on CCX.
you have prediabetes?
Prediabetes? I don't have time to eat right or exercise. I'm a busy mom.
Oh, you're a busy mom.
Yeah.
This is great news. Busy moms never get prediabetes.
Wait, what?
Let me just... Yeah, this is all the people at risk for prediabetes, and way over here, busy moms. No?
Welcome back here to Park Center. The Pirates leading Osseo by a score of 32-24 at halftime of this one as they kind of pulled away later in the half after Osseo had the lead for part of it. Let's take a look at some highlights from the opening half of play here. Waits kicking it to the corner and Richardson knocking down a three.
Just a nice start for Osseo, too, on the road. Offensively, they got some nice looks. Took a nice early lead.
There's Broadway keeping the dribble alive, and he goes strong to the hoop to score that one. And Henry a drive and kick to Barlow in the corner.
And that was that stretch where Osseo was knocking down some outside jump shots. Kind of went cold there towards the end of the half.
Coming off the bench, Brown making a pair of threes for the Pirates.
This is a great job by Waits, driving, kicking it out, and then relocating, finding the opening, knock down a three.
Off the miss for the Pirates. Great pass there from Frierson over to Brown, just standing, waiting for the open look. And then not a bad way to end the half.
Look at that. Great athletics. I think we know where that green foam bar is coming loose. They're hitting their head on the backboard when they're dunking.
Richardson with 10 to lead the way here for Osseo. Frierson with 8 for the Pirates. We will come back with more action here from Park Center. We'll hear from Coach Ware and then jump into half number 2 here on CCX.
They'll test you. Try to break your will. But however loud the loudness gets, however many cheese puffs may fly, you're the driver, the one in control. Stand firm. Just wait. And move only when you hear the click that says they're buckled in for the drive. Never give up till they buckle up.
I'm Rudy Tempesta. I'm 92 years old. I fought in World War II. Then I came home, worked for the post office for 70 years. I've been getting Meals on Wheels, and I enjoy it. The most important thing about Meals on Wheels is you meet the people, which to me is fantastic. You need people to keep your brain moving. That's what life is about. It's love and having a conversation with people.
Welcome back here to Park Center. The Pirates leading at 32-24. Let's go over to Allie with Coach Ware.
Coach, Dane not in foul trouble, but an uncharacteristic 2 points. Why has it been hard to kind of establish an offensive rhythm?
Well, right now we're dribbling too much on the perimeter. They're doing a good job of doubling in the post, which is discouraging him from going down there. The one time he did go down there, he got a charge. So they're doing a nice job of taking away, any dribble penetration from the wing and then doubling down in the post when the ball does go in.
You guys have a little bit of a momentum going into the second half. How do you get that offense rolling and get Dane some more points, though?
Well, we just got to be a little bit more patient. We got to pass and cut a little bit better, move without the ball a little bit more. The good thing is we're down on this end, so I can help them a little bit more. With this crowd, I'm shouting out stuff. They can't hear me. So I feel a little helpless in the first half, but second half, they're coming our way.
Thanks so much, Coach.
Thank you.
Thanks, Allie, and Coach Ware. And an interesting point. It's we were kind of joking about that before the game. It's better than the alternative of a gym where it's empty and nobody cares. But it does create some issues in terms of communication.
And really the regular season, Jay, is about giving your team and putting them in as many opportunities, experiences as possible so that nothing in the playoffs or the state tournament catches you off guard, right? So close games, you're down early. How do we come back? You got a big lead. How do you preserve it? You got a big, intense crowd. How can you handle that energy? All those things are really, they're part of growing and building towards the end of the year.
And it's a different kind of pressure when you're in a really big arena like that as compared to here where the fans are really right on top of you.
When you play at the Target Center, it's not necessarily loud. It's more getting used to the perception and the depth perception of shooting there.
Inside to Mr. Danger, and he hammers it home.
Yeah, that's a great start. Nice job for round one. That time Danger really worked for the ball. And a great feed to him, and he knows how to finish it.
He gets a technical foul, though, for the slap of the backboard. So Osseo will get free throws as Richardson heads to the line. I think that was a little bit of a frustration thing for Danger, too. Hadn't gotten a lot of looks inside in the first half. Richardson nails the free throw.
No, but think of the last two possessions for Park Center both ended in dunks. You know, and that's where you got to be smart like that. If you're frustrated, take it out on the rim, right? You gotta hold your head, and especially in close games and competitive games, you really don't want to ever give the other team a chance to get 2 points.
And I think Danger was going to get away with, hanging on the rim a little bit, but when he did the double slap of the backboard, that's going to be an automatic tee. Here's Waits. Cut off, goes over to Ferguson, but missed it inside as he got it up quick. Frierson the save, and here's Chapman.
Well, even though Danger didn't get a block on that, he altered that shot enough where it missed.
Danger
nice
dishing to Frierson, no bucket. It'll be a foul on the way. Great job.
You can see what a great passer he is, and again, you got Frierson on that cut, doing a really nice job of making himself available for his teammates to get him the ball.
Waits will pick up the foul. I have the feeling that this might be a pretty key stretch here for Osseo. They're going to need to start to do something offensively to stay in this one. Frierson back out to Broadway, and they'll keep that ball swinging side to side. Chapman looking for Danger. It got through his hands, though, and it'll be an over and back.
Oh, good hustle by Danger. He doesn't touch that. That could be a layup for Osseo. So even though it was a turnover, if he doesn't get a hand on that, that's maybe a 2-point play for Osseo.
Yeah, you see a lot of times the guy gets so frustrated that there's been a turnover that they just kind of stop. And that would have been an easy 2 for Osseo if he didn't at least get a piece of it. Henry with Chapman defending him. Barlow coming out high. Richardson will swing it around.
Just not a lot of angles and driving lanes to the basket. Park Center plays so good man-to-man defense, and then they got great help.
That's going to be an offensive foul on Henry, and that looked to be a good call. It'll be his second, so you got 3 of the 5 starters now for Osseo. Or excuse me, 4 of the 5 all have 2 fouls.
Nice job by Jambola that time, just beating him to the spot and getting squared, and again, really good man-to-man defense by the Pirates.
Here's Chapman driving, and no good. Danger is there to follow it up, and he was fouled by Eli Barlow, and that will be his third. And to your point, late in the first half, Ryan, I think the Pirates really started to do what Coach Ware wanted in terms of move your feet. We don't have to get a steal every time. Just be sound defensively, and those turnovers might come.
I'll tell you, Chapman missed that layup, but you see how easy and just graceful his drives to the basket are. And he missed that. That time, Danger, great job following up, cleaning up on the glass. We saw in the first half, Jay, he would dribble that one out. That time he caught it, went right back up, tried to switch hands to his left hand, but able to draw the contact. Go ahead.
Excuse me, McIntyre coming in, and Barlow will sit now with those 3 fouls. And Danger not able to hit either free throw. Waits driving and then knocked away off Henry's leg.
Kind of what I thought that Osseo might struggle to score. They had that nice kind of run there in the first half where they were knocking down some threes, but I don't know if they have that guy that can go get them a basket that they've had in the last few years. And you can see Park Center trying to post up Frierson, and you know, you think Danger is all we have to worry about, but Frierson being 6'5" and athletic, it's really an advantage to have two guys like that you can throw down in the post.
Yeah, and Coach Ware talked to us before the game about how in a couple of their close games they've had foul trouble for one or the other, or sometimes both of Danger and Frierson, and how much it really altered their team. He said, you know, we've got all good players around them too, but just that size and strength he can't always duplicate. Inside to Danger, and he is fouled here, and he's getting frustrated at how much they're bumping him around. But he does the right thing. You go up into him, pretty soon you'll be fouling those guys out if you keep working.
Hey, if I'm Danger, I'm not getting frustrated. I'm going to the free throw line, and this is where you got to make teams pay that are going to try to foul you, and it's the right strategy. Don't give up a layup. Make him earn it at the free throw line. We saw him miss 2 free throws. There he knocks it down. And guess what? Free throws add up. You know, you shoot 15 free throws, you make them all, that's 15 points. So one way or the other, great player, you find a way to impact the game. And there he knocks down. He's got great touch. He's a good shooter.
11-point lead for the Pirates now as Osseo throwing it ahead to Waits, and then we're going to get a blocking foul on Broadway. It was one. It impacted the play so much that you almost had to call something there. So they, I think initially they were almost wanted it to be a no call, but when the ball goes out of bounds, they have to blow the whistle there.
What I like though is Park Center just competing on every one-on-one possession on defense. There's just nothing easy.
And Danger trying to shut off the baseline, and he will be called for the foul there as he bumps into Tariq Henry. That'll be his third.
You know, and if I'm playing Park Center, that's what I try to do. Is I try to get pick and rolls and switches, and I try to go at Danger on the perimeter because he's got quick hands. He will reach on you. Try to get him in foul trouble so you eliminate some of that size.
Yeah, at times Barlow in the first half was able to do that, get him isolated a little bit in attack, but not enough to really lead to, you know, a lot of points for Osseo.
But that drive right there kind of exemplifies Osseo. You get about 3/4 of the way to the basket and you either get cut off or you stop attacking, and you kind of bail Park Center out on defense.
Here's Henry with the drive, and he finishes a tough shot.
That is not easy. Took the contact, kind of a sweeping right hand over Danger too, coming over. That was a beautiful move. And again, important, I think you have to be able to drive like that and attack at Park Center if you want to have a chance of getting, you know, driving kicks.
Broadway swings it across, and nice baseline pass. Frierson to Chapman for 2.
Yeah. You know, Frierson is as much as athletic, and we've talked about his scoring, he moves the ball quick too. He makes some great decisions kind of on that swing pass. He knows where that guy is. He gets it to him, and Tommy Chapman knocks down. He's got a silky smooth jump shot.
Ferguson picking up the dribble. He'll get it back out to Waits. And you see Osseo is just a little tentative right now. They're not exactly sure where they should be going with the ball or how they want to get these plays. And I think Coach is probably asking them to run a little bit of clock and make sure they work it around a bit. But then how do you get from there to attack mode? Here's Richardson, not able to finish that one.
Well, he missed that, but that was the right play. He got Danger in a switch there. Oh, nice look, just a little bit too high. But Richardson had Danger on him and took it to him, went to the basket, and just kind of had a bad angle there. But, you know, I think to your point a few minutes ago, I think right now is kind of the critical time for Osseo. Down 11, you feel like Park Center is either on the verge of putting this game away and getting up 20, or if you're Osseo, can you string a couple of good possessions here and maybe make it a 2 or 3 possession game?
Knocked away. It'll be Osseo maintaining possession here. Richardson looking for the screen, now across to Ferguson. McIntyre. Chapman tried to jump that one, almost had a steal.
Great reaction by Henry that time just to protect that ball. Went right between his legs.
Richardson on the drive. Danger got a piece of it. Chapman's heel was on the end line, though, as he saved it.
You know, you talk and you think about team defense, too, and what allows these guards for Park Center to feel confident getting up into that pressure defense is, hey, if you do get beat, so what?
Lob.
You got help.
Lob there for Henry, not able to put it down. Now Chapman the other way with the scoop and the tip in by Danger.
You know, that's what penetration does too. Even though Chapman missed that, you come over to help. And Danger, who's just got a good feel for offensive rebounding. Obviously, he's got great size, but he's got a great feel for it, able to get the tip in.
Ferguson, an open three, won't go, and we have a foul on the rebound. See, is this going to go against Danger?
I think so.
Looks like it will, and if so, that would be, by my count, his fourth.
Yeah, it's his fourth. He's going to take a seat here.
So Lewis comes off the bench here for the Pirates. Richardson back out here now to Waits. And they drive an attack too strong. Ferguson the rebound. That wouldn't drop. Battle for it in the lane, and it will be Park Center basketball, it appears.
Even though they didn't score there, you see the kind of the refound energy on the offensive level. Driving, attacking the basket, second, third chance offensive rebounds. Just getting that big fella out of the game, you feel a little bit more comfortable around the rim.
Chapman will walk it to the front court here for Park Center. They are up by 13. Osseo's only scored 3 points so far here in the second half. Broadway spinning to the hoop and scores.
Just a smooth move. Attack hard on the baseline, that quick spin. You know, he's 6'2", but he's got those long arms. He's able to finish right at the rim. That's a tough move.
And then a takeaway by Chapman. Has Broadway, but the pass was tipped, and Adjadamola lost it. Broadway back for Frierson. No good. His follow-up is good. Boy, that second jump of Frierson.
I was just going to say, he went up, and then he went up again before anyone else did. So there's great leapers, and there's also quick leapers. Nice job by Broadway to stick with it here, but watch this. He shoots it, but look at him already up. He beats the defender up on that second jump, and again, we've seen him put it down on an alley-oop. That time, just explosive, quick leaping ability.
44-27. Park Center blowing this one open to a 17-point lead. Osseo, you can kind of tell by the way they're playing the game, they could kind of feel, like you said, you know, scoring with Park Center was going to be tough for them, so they've tried to slow it down and things like that, but it's starting to get away right now for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you can see Park Center that when they haven't had a ton of transition tonight, but it's almost like their eyes just light up when they can get out and run. And that time Chapman had the quick hands, got the steal, and it wasn't a smooth transition, but they're so good at it. Even if they miss their initial one or two shots, they have so many athletes. It's hard to keep them off the glass. And this is with Danger on the bench, too, and they still have really good athletes.
Well, and the other thing is, you know, if you have a night where you're really not shooting the ball all that well, the more you can get those easy layups that, you know, aren't really even like a shot, the better off you're going to be. You're still going to score the ball, even if you're not necessarily hot from the outside.
Well, I think, too, you go back to that game where they beat Eden Prairie, who was really highly ranked at that time, 49-46. Eden Prairie's averaging almost 80 points a game. So that's one thing, you know, defense can always travel, and defense can win you games. Offense isn't always going to be there. You're going to miss shots. You might be sloppy a little bit. But the way Park Center defends is what's going to keep them in every game this year.
Barlow on the baseline, looking to go at Frierson, did a nice job cutting him off. Now Richardson. And he'll be called for the travel. Said he dragged that pivot foot along. I thought at first maybe he'd stepped out of bounds, but instead they'll get him for the walk. Osseo coming with a little bit of pressure now, kind of token pressure. I think they know that probably it's not going to be in their best interest to really make this a full court kind of deal.
They called something on Chapman. I don't know if it was a carry, maybe.
Yeah, it does not look like it was a foul. So, and as you can probably tell, our view is not the greatest tonight with all the students standing. So at times we might be a little mystified about a play that went on out there. Down low it goes. Nice up fake by Ferguson, and he finishes it.
Oh, nice shot fake. Just that little shot fake got Chapman in the air a little bit, and he was able to finish.
Big collision there as Frierson drives the ball, and going to be an offensive foul. Wow. Be the first on Frierson. A couple pretty big boys hitting head to head there, or chest to chest anyways. He and Barlow collided.
You know, and that's a point of emphasis too when you're playing Park Center, is they go so hard at the rim that there are charge opportunities if you can get there, and B, if you're man enough to take the hit from some of these guys.
Chapman with the steal, and then he was fouled by Barlow. And teammates wanted to get up and make sure that Chapman wasn't going to come back at Barlow there. It wasn't much, but he must have nudged him down low there. Oh, the feet got tangled a little bit. So Barlow will pick it up. It was definitely not anything dirty there. No. Just their feet got tangled.
It just looked bad initially, and I think too Chapman looked like he was going to try to dunk that. And when you do that, sometimes you lose your feet, and the foul can look bad. But yeah, certainly nothing. Initially, you look at that and you think, wow, that did not look good, but feet got tangled up. But how quick are Tommy Chapman's hands? That's about the third or fourth time tonight with his hands he's been able to deflect the ball, get a steal, and initiate transition.
Was the fourth foul also on Barlow, so Osseo's chances of getting back into this one will take a little bit of a hit with that aspect of it too. Barlow's going to come on out, be replaced by Miles Vinson. One more coming here for Chapman. And second one is good, so 8 points now for Tommy, and the lead is 16. Osseo trying to claw back, but they just are not getting much offense. Memoria back out. Vincent will shoot up a three. Ferguson kept it alive. Richardson gets to it, but then it slipped out of his hands on the way up, it looked like, and Broadway pushing it back the other way. Brown out to Chapman. Travel. Yep. Definitely picked up that pivot foot before he put it down that time. And Chapman will take a seat here. 9:39 to go in the ball game. Park Center leading at 45-29. First meeting of the season between these two district rivals. So it'll be, if Park Center hangs on to win this one, good week for them. They beat Maple Grove the other night, so they'll be 2 for 2 in District 279 games if they win this one, which right now sure looks like they're going to. Broadway the drive, and he scores it.
That's just a solid move. He's got that quick first step, and I like how he put the ball up high and then extended it so no defender could get to it. It's not an easy shot. You got to put the right kind of spin on it too, and beautiful move.
Richardson cut off. He gets it right back. It's been kind of fun to watch. You know, Broadway and also Emmanuel Tamba, who we said is not here tonight, really were very young players on the Park Center varsity when they first started to play, and now to see what they've become is pretty cool. Broadway misses it, gets it right back. Nice block by Henry, and then a foul.
Great contest that time by Osseo, but again, Kari Broadway just relentless, staying with it. Missed the first one, goes after the second one, gets the second one blocked, still stays with it. And that, that's what great players and great teams do. They just never stop coming at you.
Third foul on Ferguson, and Broadway was frustrated they didn't finish there, but he'll have a chance to score at the line. One more coming here as Danger still on the bench with those 4 fouls, but it's looking more and more like they're not really going to need him down the stretch.
Well, and I was just going to say, tonight it's not going to be impactful, but we have seen games in the past where he does have to sit because of foul trouble in big games where it does impact the outcome. He's got to find a way to be a great shot blocker, be aggressive, but also to stay on the floor.
Going to be another foul going against Osseo's Ferguson, so he picks up 2 in about a 5-second span. And so it'll be free throws upcoming here for Park Center. Josh Lewis heading to the free throw line for PC. Misses the front end. Here comes Tariq Henry off target with that one. Ferguson boards it and scores.
Nice job by Ferguson too, just staying with it. Good offensive rebound. He's only 6 foot. He plays a lot bigger than that.
Park Center by 17. Lewis into the lane and then threw it into the Pirates bench as he slipped as he made that jump stop. You don't like a turnover, but you're glad to see him get up because it kind of looked like the type of play where you might turn that ankle.
Yep.
Danger coming back into the Park Center lineup here with a little over 8 to go. Their team in command by 17. I hate to say it, but and it may not be true, but I almost get the feeling right now that even if Park Center never scored another point, they would still have enough to win this game. Osseo just not looking like they're going to be able to do a whole lot offensively.
That was a late whistle. Yeah, they're going to get it on Danger.
It'll be his 5th.
Yeah, that was a late call. Nice job by Chaz Franklin there to attack. Nice ball hand. Watch him go right at Danger. And play went on there, and then there was a whistle. You could see the ref's arm there on the bottom of the screen. That was a good 5 seconds after the play happened.
So Danger will foul out. Osseo fans kind of saying goodbye to him, but if you were not down by 17, it would be more meaningful, I think, right? So Franklin to the free throw line. Short on that one. Chapman rips it away. Broadway into Frierson. And ripped away by Franklin, but he fouled to do it. So Batavius Frierson to the free throw line here for Park Center. Too strong with the free throw, but it came out so hard that they'll get it back.
That's the kind of night it's been for Park Center, right? They haven't shot well from the free throw line, but even when they miss it, able to hustle down and get a second chance rebound.
Brown with the miss, and Frierson landing hard as he went up for the rebound. He kind of got undercut there, and he is shaken up. See, as he's getting up for the leap there, McIntyre bumping into him.
What you worry about on something like that is a lot of times is the wrist, because you end up trying to shield your whole body weight falling. You see a lot of sprained and broken fingers and wrists out of that, but great to see Frierson walking it off, and he's going to get rewarded for a great effort there on the offensive rebound.
It was definitely a foul, but in looking at it again, I don't think it was dirty. I mean, you can't always count on getting a running start and jumping and thinking that there's nobody going to get in your way. You know?
And again, when you jump really high, a lot of times you're in the air, and that's when things can happen.
So Frierson collecting himself, gets up and will knock down a free throw. And that's always the best way to make people pay when they foul you.
Yep.
Go to the line and pile up points for your team. 49-31 Pirates, and one more coming here for Frierson. Second one is also good. So the lead is 19 now for PC as Henry comes to the front court. Going to get a hand check call there on Broadway. And things have gotten a little more and more physical, and I kind of have the feeling right now that they're trying to be tight with the calls because they don't want to see anything, develop here and break out and get guys mad at each other.
You'd like to not see those being called, but I can say, the referees have been consistent really from the very get-go calling those hand checks, and Park Center, I thought, did a really nice job adjusting to it, but that time Tariq Henry, and I would have liked to have seen Osseo put a little bit more pressure when they got those initial fouls. You remember Tommy Chapman had to sit out early with foul trouble, and I thought Osseo missed an opportunity to try to be more aggressive getting to the basket tonight.
And to be perfectly honest, I kind of have the feeling that Coach Tyson knows that we don't have the firepower to just play straight up back and forth at Park Center, and that's why they kind of slowed it down and tried to get longer possessions.
When you kind of said that they might be a little vanilla tonight, and normally Osseo, Neil Swanson, an assistant coach, calls the plays and runs the offense. They usually run some great, set plays and good motions. We just haven't seen that tonight. So certainly Coach Tyson probably keeping something up his sleeve.
And that's going to be number 5 on Barlew, it looks like. So he will foul out for the Orioles as Broadway heads to the free throw line. Now into the double bonus, so he gets another one.
It's another game, too, where if you're Coach Ware, you have some things that you need to sharpen up, too, right? You like to win these games, but you also, as a coach, you want some of those teachable things, and free throws certainly one of them. Tonight, playing without fouling is another one, so this is kind of a perfect thing if you're a coach. You won big, but you certainly have some things that you need to touch up on.
Franklin traveled before that one was knocked away. Yeah, it hasn't been a pretty game by any means, and but it's part of the learning thing too, is that it's not all going to be threes and dunks and highlight reel 2-on-1s all night long. Sometimes, the little things making free throws and defending well are going to be what you have to rely on.
Well, and the reason is that when you get to the playoffs too, you're playing good teams that are going to take away your best stuff. And again, I think it comes down to good teams always can find different ways to win games. And Park Center has shown that here early on this season. And even tonight, they've kind of ground out this kind of an uglier game, not a lot of rhythm on it. Danger having foul trouble, not being that effective, but still being able to pull away and take command of this game.
It'll stay with Park Center after Chapman's missed jumper, and then the ball was knocked around a bit. Pirate ball on the baseline here. We'll throw it into Chapman. Chapman getting a high screen, and Gamboa driving, and he scores it.
Again, he's showing off that quick first step, almost faked the dribble handoff, and then just went left on the baseline, and nice finish. He's had a nice game tonight offensively and defensively as well.
Henry weaving his way down the lane, no good, and here come the Pirates. Shoveled back for Broadway, the layup's good.
Oh, that's them and the Pirates when they're at their best, right? Getting out and running in transition. Unselfish play by Jambola and a great finish by Broadway.
54-32. Maria shooting it up, no good. Nice rebound by Henry. That one he goes again though and scores.
Nice job by Henry just staying with it.
20-point lead here for PC as we tick down toward 5 minutes to go. Didn't get to steal. Frierson then moves the ball. Whips it down low to Frierson. Had a little trouble with the handle. Now gets it back, and the layup good for Jambola.
Jambola, great cut that time. Another great pass by Frierson. You know, if we're keeping, stats, I bet he's got 6, 7, 8 assists tonight. He's just very aware of where his teammates are, and he gives them the ball. He's a great passer.
To Henry on the baseline, no good, and got a foul here. A blocking foul on that initial shot, it looked like.
Well, that's the second time against Park Center where it's been a delayed call, and the referee that's near half court is the one making that call.
Henry's free throw is good.
He's got 12 points. Henry's a nice player. I still believe that Osseo is going to give quite a few teams a battle this year. And again, by the end of the year, they'll be coming around and playing with confidence and playing with more experience. And as usual, they'll be a team that no one will want to see come playoff time.
Henry makes another. Got sub coming in as the reason for the whistle there. Josh Lewis will replace Broadway. Osseo coming with full pressure now, but Pirates get it inbounded. They head to Frierson, knocked away from behind. He was going to go up for the jam, and instead Franklin got a piece of the ball.
Well, great effort. Franklin that time was guarding the ball, and as soon as he got beat, he never stopped, kept sprinting there. Great hands, able to get the deflection.
Frierson driving it down the middle, no good, but he was fouled.
That's a grown man move right there, Jay. About 5 feet beyond the three-point line. He just ripped through, and no one stepped up to take the charge. He's able, with that athleticism, to just explode. Takes the contact.
It's going to be the 5th foul on Ferguson right there. He'll foul out with 4 points. Kind of looking like Frierson might have cramps when they were trying to get him to get up, and he's like, no, leave me alone for a moment here. Yeah, clear foul there. Ooh, and he might have hit his head a little bit too.
That's where those cheerleaders got to shield him from that wall. Well, you're attacking the basket hard when it carries you right through the play and into the wall.
Yeah, this not a lot of room along the baseline at Park Center compared to a lot of the gyms. You kind of get the feeling this is a game both teams would like to just get done now. I mean, Park Center's going to win it for sure. And Pirates basketball here with just under 4 to go, and they are up by 20.
Yeah, it's one as a coach. You don't want to get an injury, right, these last 4 minutes when really the game's decided. But you also can take the opportunity to run some stuff that maybe you've been working on. And there's that same play we saw at the end of the half. It's a screen and then a screen the screener, and they run it to perfection as Frierson gets another alley-oop dunk.
Richardson loses it on the way in.
Nice throw by Chapman, too. He puts it way up there. And what you couldn't see, watch how far out Frierson jumps on that one. He's almost at the lane. Just some great athleticism and hang time. And I'll tell you, everyone thinks the alley-oops look easy. They are hard to pass. That's a great pass because you got to be really accurate and you got to have great timing when you do it.
And Chapman nearly got a tough layup to go there.
It looked like he might have been driving to kick there and then no one was open and then had to kind of finish with his left hand.
Donald Ferguson, number 30, is in for Osseo, and they tried to quickly jump him and steal it. Instead, wind up with a foul.
You know, that's a positive, too, about this game. You get a freshman, Donald, into the game, get him some experience, get him a chance to get to the free throw line and see that ball go in.
And bounces around and drops, so Donald Ferguson doesn't take long to get his name in the scorebook there with that one as he.
No, he's a good player.
It.
He's going to be a good one here for Osseo over the next couple of years.
Short on the second, and Ferguson grabs the board here for Park Center. Chapman looked toward Frierson, but the D recovered to cut him off a little bit. Lewis chased out by Ferguson. 2:45 to go. Down low, reversed by Frierson, no good, but he was fouled. And he's telling his teammate, put that ball up for me. A bounce pass is okay, but I could have had it up near the rim.
You know, it's funny, that's about the 6th or 7th time tonight Frierson has bailed a teammate out who's driving, kind of looks like there's nowhere to go, and then he just appears. Does a great job of moving without the ball.
Free throw, no good. Second one, no good. Pass was deflected. It'll stay with Osseo here. 2:31 to go, and the Pirates by 21. Henry driving it. McIntyre turns and spins. Made that one a tougher shot, but he gets it to go.
Yeah, that's not an easy shot, spinning to your left like that, kind of fading away.
Lewis into the edge of the lane here. He's cut off and he'll kick it back out. Under 2 to play now. Park Center going to stay undefeated. They are ranked number 1 in Class 4A. And Janamola just about got it to go.
They do a nice job too. It looks like it's going to be a travel or a charge, but they split that defense nicely.
Richardson attacking, no good. Brown the rebound here for Park Center. Now Frierson says, let's slow it up. I think this was good for Park Center too, to have to work on, closing out a game where you've got a fairly big margin, and sometimes you'd say, let's go showtime and get a lot of layups and dunks, and instead they just kind of had to, do this one workmanlike down the stretch.
Yeah, it's hard to play, different than what your normal style is accustomed to, right? And slowing it down, being patient, and they've done a nice job. And there's Frierson with 14 points. I'll tell you, if he was making his free throws, could have been in the 20s here tonight. And Tariq Henry for Osseo with 13 points. That's another thing about Park Center that's tough is they have good balance. They have a number of kids, from Broadway to Chapman to Frierson to, Dane Danja, and even when he comes back, Emmanuel Tamba, that could score 20, it seems like. And that's hard to defend. If you only got one guy or maybe 2 guys, you can game plan and take those 2 out. But when you got a whole team of them, it's hard to guard.
Pirates clear the bench here as Jalen Cook, number 31, is in. Dawson Rudolph, number 32. 45 is Jimmy Ware. 30, let's see, who else have we got? 21 is Kai Frobenius. And then Frierson will sit down now as he's replaced by James Parker. We approach a minute to go in a 20-point game. Park Center, I don't know that this makes up entirely for the sting of that section final last year, but I know for them it feels awful good to beat Osseo.
You know, it's one of those things too, for whatever reason, certain teams struggle against certain teams, right? And this is a good one for Park Center. Clearly very talented, being the #1 team in the state. I think if you ask people, they were favored tonight, but until you get that monkey off your back and beat that team that's eliminated you the last couple of years, this is going to be a good feeling for the Pirates.
Anthony Clay Trezek coming in here for Park Center. Got a few new players for Osseo as well. Owen Dukowitz, another freshman, number 22, is in. Also Jake Hill, number 14. Sure, if we maybe had, I think we had something to do with a uniform situation or somebody didn't check in. So it looks like not everybody was added to the scorebook, so they'll be, it appears to be a technical foul coming. Oh, it looks like they're gonna, Osseo just said that's fine, whatever. Allie, thank you very much. Allie letting us know that each team had a guy that wasn't in the book. And so it just kind of cancels each other out. I mean, you could say that's being nitpicky, but every coach knows that you can't put guys anywhere in your scorebook. That's on the staffs for both teams, really. Oh. There's a three put up and down by Cook. Jalen Cook, younger brother of Jarius Cook, who in a senior last year, and then Amoria answering for Osseo. Down to 25 seconds to go, a 20-point lead for Park Center as they are going to improve to 6-0. Safe to say this has maybe been the most satisfying of those first six, although they, like we said, they played some other really good teams too, but this one's certainly a big rivalry night. Parker able to put it up and in.
Well, different players, but same trend, right? Offensive rebounds leading to baskets. Park Center came to play tonight, and they get a big win against Osseo.
So it is a 64-42 victory here for the Pirates. As we said, more of a workmanlike game. They didn't ever get to the point where we were seeing, a lot of flow and back and forth, and I think that was partly by design for Osseo because they knew they were going to probably struggle to score with this Park Center team.
Again, you probably don't want to get in a track meet with the Pirates because they're so athletic and fast. But again, showing that defense, and they can play and grind it in any game, any style. And again, remember, they did this with Dane Danja really being limited tonight with foul troubles. I don't know what he ended up with, probably 8, yeah. So Osseo did a nice job again guarding him, but this is where that depth and experience for the Pirates really came in tonight as they just, as a team, wore down the Orioles.
Park Center has been looking forward to this season. Obviously, they've got some young talent too, but they got that core group of seniors that Broadway and Chapman and Tomba, who's not here tonight, been part of this program for a very long time. Those three guys, so they are certainly expecting this to be a season to remember, much like their 2012-2013 team that wound up finishing as state runner-up to Apple Valley in that season when they had Quentin Hooker and that whole bunch here. So So let's go down courtside now to Allie with a couple of happy Pirates.
Yeah, guys, I have Datavius Frierson and Tommy Chapman here. Datavius, Osseo kept you guys out of the paint for pretty much of that first half. You guys really forced your way down low in the second. What changed?
Just our intensity. Like, we came out a little bit sluggish. And then our big guy, Mr. Dane Danger, he got in a couple foul trouble. So we just had to, come together as a unit and control the tempo. We had to go crash. Our guards came in. Tommy Chapman grabbed some big boards for us. And we was able to contain them the whole second half.
You did in that second half, because in the first half, there were a lot of lead changes. But you guys started to form that offensive rhythm. How did you get that going?
Just in the locker room. Like, Coach tells us every day, just come put our minds prepared. Like, we have a target on our head because we're the #1 team. We're going to get everyone's best game. So, I mean, we honestly come out playing like we're 0-5 or 0-6, whatever the case may be. Like, we just hunt people.
Whatever the case may be, the case is you're 6-0. You're still the #1 team in the state. What comes to mind when you hear that?
I mean, honestly, it's just a part of the process. We still got a lot more to work on. Coach tells us every day it's not about how we play in December or January. It's about how we play in March. And we just focus on the bigger picture and not competing for the title.
Congrats on a great game today. We're going to turn it over to Tommy Chapman. Tommy, a big part of your team's game is Dane Danger. He had only 2 points in the first half, and he was out with 8 minutes left in the second. How did you guys battle back offensively to carry this team to over a 20-point win?
The people that came off the bench been really big for us. Me and DT had to go down, grab some boards, play big man. So we all just had to come together and fill the hole with Dane out.
This is a rivalry game. Last year, Osseo had you guys beat in all of your games. This year, you win big. What does it mean for this win for you guys to have? They always have your name, but you got them this time.
It just shows that our hard work is paying off. All the open gyms, early morning 6 a.m. shooting, just shows that everything's paying off for us.
Your senior year, I know you guys are pretty humble about it, but you remain at the top of Class 4A. What does it say about your team, this win, and what you see for your team moving forward?
It just shows, again, all the hard work. And moving forward, we just hope to keep winning, just keep improving, keep playing as a team, and get better each and every day.
Congrats, both of you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Allie, and congratulations to the Pirates picking up the victory here tonight. And Ryan, going to be fun to see how these teams develop. Obviously, they'll play again later in the season, and perhaps for a third time in the playoffs. Seems to be the case most years, but a lot to like about this Park Center squad this year for sure.
Absolutely, and again, they're hard, challenging early part of the schedule, and then this area, right, this conference is pretty deep. They're going to get tested, and it's only going to make them be even better when they get to the playoff come March and late February. And that guy right there is all smiles, Coach Ware, because he knows what kind of talent he's got. He's locked and loaded this year with a really good team.
So it's Park Center improving to 6-0, as Allie said, with the 64-42 win. Osseo drops to 3-3. We hope you've enjoyed tonight's broadcast, and happy holidays from all of us at CCX. For Ryan Iverson, Allie Arlton, all of our crew, MJ Wilcox, good night from Park Center.